talk to the legends of the creative and entertainment industries. We talk to those on the rise. Steen Anthony Nielsen asks about the highs, the lows, and everything in between. This is Outcast Creative, and this is Industry Interviews.
Hello, welcome back to Industry Interview 145. Can you believe it? I've done 145 of these in less than 2.5 years. How amazing is that? Now, these are, of course, live. You can pop questions in the chat if you're watching it during the live stream. If you're watching it later on replay, don't forget to put your questions or comments in the comments section. If you have any belated questions for my guests, I'll always try and get that information to them. We've done 3 of these in the last, I think, about 8 days, and I've had an actor on, I've had a DJ on, I've had a club promoter on, and I've had people from the music industry, all sides of it, before. But although I've had singers on here before, I've never had a country and western singer, and perhaps I actually should be wearing one of my cowboy hats from the Magnificent Seven play, but they're in the shed. So I'm not going out into the darkness to grab one of those now. But my guest this evening is a singer-songwriter. That is one of the genres in which she sings. Incredibly talented lady. There are already links below where you can have a listen to her singing. But Grace Palmer has been in the industry grafting away. And I saw a post where a friend of mine recommended her. And I had a quick look and had a quick listen. And I was like, this lady's very talented. I should get her on the channel. So, of course, as always, the Outcast Creative extends the olive branch to fellow independent creatives and says, come on. And unfortunately, Grace agreed. And here she is. Fantastic. Thank you so much for giving up your time and coming on all the way from sunny Birmingham at the moment.
That's right. Sunny Birmingham. Not very sunny.
In case the accent doesn't give it away. If someone just heard you singing a song, I don't know that they would necessarily know that you were from Birmingham in the UK, not Birmingham in Alabama, for the benefit.
There's no way they would know. No. I remember when I was about, say, 14 or something, I sang on a karaoke and all the local guys were like, why do you sing like the Queen? You know, the Queen's English.
Right.
Because everyone does that, don't they? It's so weird because I wouldn't be able to put that accent on normally that I sing in to speak.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess a lot of singers, especially singer-songwriters, at the end of the day, to be a successful singer, you've got to be a showman or showwoman, and that involves a bit of acting because it's a performance, isn't it? It's not just the singing, so it's part of the whole package. So if you're giving a convincing performance, people could think you're from wherever. And we'll get into all that. But before we do, I'm going to do my quick fire questions first. So I ask a series of questions, very quick. Just tell me the first answer that comes into your head. There's no right or wrong answer. And the first 2 of these will be about film because I'm a film director and that's where I come from, that sort of background. But the rest will all be music related, which will be of more interest to you. So can you tell me the first film you remember seeing on a really big screen in the cinema when you were young?
I think that it was Titanic.
Funnily enough, one of my guests last week gave that same answer. So, and I think we've had that answer about 3 times, and it does seem to be that's one of the milestone films for people, especially people in their 30s. So you know they remember that being a film that impacted them. Do you know what the last movie was you either saw or got taken to where you paid for a ticket to go and see a film? Like maybe you went to see Barbie a couple of years ago or Oppenheimer. Although I suspect Barbie.
I haven't been to the cinema in a long time, to be honest.
Do you remember what the last film was you saw? It can't also be Titanic.
Yeah, Titanic. No, let me think. What's the film? It's not the last one I've seen though, but it's the last one I can remember seeing.
Okay, that's all right.
What's the one with the blue people?
Oh, Avatar.
Yeah. No, I know that was a long time ago, but that's the one I remember the most because I loved it.
Yeah,
However,
I mean,
I can't. I've got such a terrible memory, actually, that I don't know. I went to the cinema to see that, and I loved it, and I felt like you should watch that at the cinema.
yeah, no, I mean, it's absolutely is. It's, I mean, not only the cinema, but you should see it at an IMAX because it's shot with IMAX cameras. It's made for the IMAX, and it's an experience. That going to see that film is an experience. Do you have a TV show, preferably a drama, but I'm going to let you name anything that is a go-to watch for you, that you have to watch every episode of it? It might be that you're addicted to EastEnders, or it might be a one-off show that only had one season that was on 10 years ago, but it was like, oh, that show was so good. I had to watch all of those.
So I like Fleabag.
Yeah, season 1.
Yeah, well, season 1 and 2. I like Fleabag. I've watched Fleabag many times. I find her sense of humour is like my sense of humour.
Okay, good to know.
So,
Yeah, I think because I think the original show was based on. It was originally a show she took to Edinburgh, I think, and then developed into a TV series. And it's very good. It's about mental health and
yeah,
you know, a friend who's no longer with her and things like that. And it's quite a good twist, I thought, at the end of the first season, without giving anything away to people who haven't seen it. Let's jump to some music questions now. Do you remember the first single or album, or preferably both, that you ever purchased?
well, back in the day when it might have been, it's taped probably.
Yeah, I'm thinking
so I would say
vinyl or tapes, maybe.
It was Mariah Carey's album.
Okay.
It was Mariah Carey's. Was it Dream something or Daydream? It was the one with Hero on it when she first came out, and she was on Top of the Pops and all that.
Yeah,
that's the first album I ever bought.
What about your first country and western album or singer that you kind of took a shine to? Because that's certainly who got you into that? Who got you into that genre of music?
So when I was little, I used to sing in the mirror quite a lot. Elkie Brooks, Pearl's a Singer.
Right.
So I feel like that was that kind of vibe. And my mom and dad were massive fans of Crystal Gale, so that was played to me a lot. So Crystal Gale, like I still listen to this particular Crystal Gale album because I grew up on it, and the Eagles as well.
The Eagles, yeah, okay.
So I feel like Crystal Gale is very country. I'm not actually sure exactly what she'd be classed as, but she's kind of country Americana. And I feel like the Eagles, although they're not country, they've still got that kind of vibe. They were over that way.
Well, I mean, Crystal Gale is listed as an American country music singer, widely known for "Don't Make My Brown Eyes Blue." That was her big. Big. Right. And I do know that song. Name, I knew the name, couldn't put the name to the song, but that's where Google's very helpful. What was the last album that you bought or downloaded?
Oh, downloaded. What have I listened to recently? This is the problem. You see, I've got Spotify and I listen to all sorts of stuff. I actually like.
Go on.
Let me look, because what have I recently been into?
Yeah, because I'd quite like to know what would be among your top 10 desert island tracks, you know.
My top 10 desert island. Oh gosh,
I mean, you could just give me a couple, but
I've got no idea. I really like. I'm trying to. Okay, so I really like. Where is he? I like Dan and Shay.
Okay.
So I listen to them a fair bit, and they're both male actually. What's the other guy called? This is how my memory is like genuinely like this all of the time. By the way,
that's the same for a lot of my guests, so I wouldn't worry about it.
Oh, good. Okay. Josh Turner. Have you ever heard of Josh Turner?
I have heard of him, yes.
Oh, he's so good. The songs are quite upbeat, and yeah, I love listening to that. Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So if yeah, if you were going on like a long train journey or something, and let's say you're in a good mood, what are 3 tracks that you're going to want on an iPod or on your phone? I still have my iPod.
Do you?
Yeah.
Right. If I'm
here.
really, really happy and in a great mood. Okay, so there's a song, it's quite old, Vanessa Amorosi. I like this song. It's Absolutely Everybody.
Is that the name of the song? It's Absolutely Everybody.
No, Absolutely Everybody is the name of the song. I like that.
Okay, I'm going to look that up quickly. What about a couple more?
And then others. So I'm fairly obsessed with salsa dancing and bachata. So I do go dancing, and I would say there's a couple of songs like Luna de Crucero and La Gozadera, I don't know if I'm saying it properly, by Mark Anthony. That is like a party song.
Yeah, okay, that's interesting. That's not the same as Mark Anthony, the DJ, who's also from Birmingham. Funny.
No.
So this is the Vanessa song. I don't know if I've got it on the right share thing, but let me just. Oh yeah, I know this. Yeah.
You know, if I was in a really good mood, I'd probably listen to things like that.
It's very sort of Balearic dance pop, isn't it?
Yeah.
But yeah, well, why not? So okay, cool. Well, that's giving people watching a little bit of an idea. I was expecting a Dolly Parton answer at some point, I'll be honest, but let's because when people say country and western, right, to me, I think of 2 things: Dolly Parton and line dancing, which is probably very stereotypical.
So I do bachata and salsa instead of line dancing.
Right. Okay.
I do wonder if that'll cross over at some point.
It's not impossible. So how did you get started? Just talk us through, because I imagine there might have been a key figure in your childhood, someone who encouraged you to get up and sing. Were you one of those kids that just would sing at every opportunity? How did it start for you?
So I didn't sing in front of anybody actually until I used to sing a lot in the garden or sing, in the car with my mum and dad, but I wouldn't have sang in front of people. And I remember this is a random memory that's just come up, quite young. So I'm talking junior school, so maybe like 6 to 8. And we used to have a play every year, and there'd be like the lead girl in the play every year. And I wouldn't even go for it. And I used to really be like quite envious actually of the people that were doing it, because they was just really out there, and I wasn't. I didn't want to put myself on a stage basically, but I did want to, but I wouldn't.
Okay. So how did you get around that? What changed?
So when I was about 11, I went to a wedding, and there was a karaoke on.
Right.
And that's the first time I'd actually seen, a microphone that you would use in that way.
Yeah.
That's in front of people.
Yeah.
And so I went and sang I Will Always Love You.
Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, obviously I was quite young, but the reaction was great. And my mom and dad were like, oh.
Right.
So, and that's really when it started, because then there was a lady there she'd done quite a lot of singing, and she went and spoke to my parents and said, she's talented, you need to get her trained so she doesn't pick up loads of bad vocal, mistakes and things.
Right.
So they did. They took me to singing lessons. I probably went every week for 3 years or something. My mum went and took me, and then that's how I started singing properly, because I would go to this singing lesson, and this guy, the singing teacher, he would play the piano. We'd go up and down the scales.
Yeah.
And I'd learn different songs, etc. And then after me at the lesson every week, the next person would be in the next room for, say, the last 10 minutes or 5 minutes, because they're waiting to come in.
Yeah.
Well, he ran a theatre show in Birmingham. So he had heard after a few weeks, he said, I really want this girl in my theatre show, but it wasn't adults only, not, for any weird reason, but it was just it was everyone on the stage was adults.
Yeah.
And I was 12, I think, at this. I was 12.
Yeah, so it wasn't a production of Bugsy Malone, it was
No, well, it was like cabaret show type of thing, and
Okay.
it was all just adult things. It was songs from the shows like Les Mis, and so
Okay.
there were a lot of like mixed shows. So I started doing that basically, even though I was too young to be in the show. I was the first like youth.
Okay.
So I started there, ended up doing that for a few years. And then after that, in my 20s, I did bits and bobs, but I didn't do much at all, really. I was in a choir for a bit. I was in a band for a little bit. And it was when I got to about 30 that I actually started doing some public singing.
Actual like proper gigs, you mean?
Yeah. Because I used to go out, like you love the rave scene and all that, yeah? So I used to go out on the rave scene.
Okay.
Which I loved.
Oh,
but
cool.
Then,
we might be here for another 3 hours. Excellent. But let's not go too far down that rabbit hole. But yeah, very good. Was that in Birmingham? In Birmingham?
Well, I went, I think one year I went on about 9 holidays, like clubbing.
Oh, so you did Ibiza and...
I did things like, where did I go? So there was a couple that were like Butlins weekenders, and
yeah.
there were, there were, and then there was. I went to Croatia.
Right. Oh, you did the Croatia one.
Deep House Festival in Croatia.
Yeah. I've heard that's great.
Well, I went to quite a few things like that the one year, and so it was kind of that party. But the thing is, in the morning, because I don't drink much now, but I did used to drink then, and I'd have a hangover in the morning.
Right. Yeah.
I just used to cry. And the reason I used to cry was because I'd be like, I'm not singing, I'm not doing any singing, and I'd be like really sad. So actually, I thought like this is something that is a non-negotiable in my life. Like I have to do it. So I think at that point I was like playing the guitar at home, but you know what? I just lacked confidence.
Right.
So I ended up seeing an ad on Bandmix, or I think I put myself on there actually, and a guy called me up on Bandmix, and I spoke to him, and then I joined a soul band.
Explain to the uninitiated, for the benefit of people watching, what is Bandmix?
So Bandmix is a site that you can go on and you just put a profile on, but it literally is for musicians, and you can put your band on there if you're searching for a vocalist or a sax player or a guitarist, but you can go on as a musician and just say, this is who I am, this is what I do, and people can message each other.
Cool.
So yeah, I had a guy, Tim, called me, and I ended up joining his soul band. It was a good band. They got a sax player. It was like a 6-7 piece party band. So I was in that for quite a while doing soul music, but I'm not necessarily a soul singer. I'm a bit soulful. I did that for a while, and then the drummer from that, Tim, the guy who'd called me in the first place, said to me that he'd read a book on Laurel Canyon, and that he wanted to do a theatre show on the artists from there, which was the Monkeys, the Birds, the Eagles, the Mamas and Papas, and all that. Carole King, Linda Ronstadt, Joni Mitchell. So
Linda Ronstadt, I'm a big fan of hers.
I love Linda Ronstadt.
That she did the I don't know much, but I know I love you. That one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a hard song to sing as well, as I just demonstrated. Yes, continue.
So we wrote this show, and we got everything together, and we toured with this theatre show.
Right.
So that was a lot of fun. I lost quite a lot of money because it'd go up and then it'd go down. The tickets would go up, and then we'd have a night where we'd like lose $2,000. And then COVID came, came and kind of ruined it, because we had shows booked, we had stuff we paid for and all of that, and then we just couldn't do anything, and we ended up like making a loss again. So we were just like, right, we'll leave that. So I handed that over. So then during COVID, then it's quite sad, but my mom was unwell, and then she passed away.
I was very sorry to read that, and I think we did discuss it briefly when we were prepping for this a couple of weeks ago. But did you actually lose her during the pandemic? Was she actually one of the COVID casualties, so to speak?
No.
It
was COVID was hard, wasn't it? Because we were staying away. So I think COVID probably started I think the first shutdown was like March.
Yeah, it was kind of towards the end of February. I'd actually been following the story since November, of 2019. So I was like keeping a really careful eye on it, and gradually buying lots of dried foods. you know,
are you the person who took all the toilet roll?
I didn't take all the toilet rolls. No, but I did have adequate toilet rolls. I just had four big things of it. You know, I think by the end of April or end of May, I think it was, I was pretty much out of everything. So it didn't last that long. But I was ahead of the game because I managed to avoid all those crazy queues at the supermarket. Very sorry to hear you lost your mother, especially just as your passion in life, which clearly this is, was just gaining momentum, and you feel like you're getting somewhere. And it strikes me that you're quite close to your parents. And I don't know about you, but for me as a creative, one of the great things was putting on a play, and the night that my parents came, would always be like, oh, I hope it's a good one. I hope it's a good show tonight, because I would want them to be proud of me. And then of course that's then tempered with, because they're both gone now, some of my best work they never got to see. It's a tough one, that, for artists, for any creative. But I think also you have to turn that into a fuel that drives you. You have to think about what your mum would want for you, and what your mum would she would want you to be happy. And if she knew this is the thing that drives you, she would want you to be gain success. So I'm sure she's cheering you on.
You're making me sad.
Oh, well, I'm trying to be positive.
No, it's true.
Yeah, and it is tough. The parents thing, it's very tough. So you have my sympathy there. We'll keep going with this. We've got a question from Botanical Brother in the chat, 888. How are we able to sample Grace's music? So funnily enough, I just put a link in the chat here, because there happened to be 3 tracks of yours on this.
Oh yeah.
On this particular link. One is called Breathe, I Don't Want to Know, and Kiss Me in the Dark. Which there's 3 of those. But there you've got. Do you also have like a SoundCloud account and things like that?
Yeah, so I'm on everything. Actually, if that that link that I sent in the chat.
Oh yes. That's just as well that we did. Let me get that.
Yeah, so on there, if you add that, there's links to some of the songs, but also at the bottom there's all my socials, and there's a Spotify follow. But I'm on everything that you can probably be on music-wise.
So just for the benefit of people watching, the link I've dropped into the chat now, which is ffm.bio/Gracie, that's going to give you a whole load of links, including all her socials and stuff. There's some great songs there, and already people in the chat have started listening to your music. David Macy says, just when I watched Grace first time looping, happy, incredible, love your voice.
That was many years ago. Yeah. Thank you, David.
Yeah. So I mean, it struck me, your voice is very rich. You're quite blessed in that sense. You can hit. You've got quite a range in terms of notes and things you can hit. I mean, let's talk about music as a business. Because I think if I could go back in a time machine, in terms of my own creative journey as a filmmaker, writer, director, plays, books and films is predominantly what I do. bit of other things on the side, but acting coaching and stuff. But predominantly it's that my old self would say to my young self, Lance, you have to treat this as a business from day one, because if you want it to be your living, it's got to work for you as a business. Now, I'm still passionate about it. I'm still doing it. I'm surviving, but I don't think it's. I don't think I'm quite where I could be with it in terms of it being a business for me. Was it just reaching that point for you when the pandemic thing happened? Were you sort of getting a handle on it? You know, working for you as an actual career? Maybe talk us through.
So I still had a job. So I had, because if you put on a production like that, you need money. So it's like everything that no,
it's all right.
Sorry.
I put you on full screen so we can see the dog.
Oh, come here, Reg. Come here, Reg.
There you go. We love dogs on this channel. Dogs are always very welcome. So.
Oh, he's lovely, Reg. He's having a little nap next to me.
Sorry, you carry on. I should have warned you about that. Yeah, it doesn't mean I'm cut off. I'm still
here. I thought
just means we're focusing on your gorgeous space rather than mine, which I'm sure everyone in chat will be very pleased to hear. So as a business, talk us through.
So going back to what happened, really, it was a bit of a mixture of things. I'll swing back round to the business thing. The show didn't work as a business. It probably could have done, but it was something that I think it was difficult for people to know what it was. If you just had a straight up tribute show and then know what it is when they see it, you can sell tickets a lot faster. But this show actually was incredible, but it was probably more difficult for people to know exactly what they're getting. So we were doing that. As I said, I definitely lost money on that. And then my mom passed away. And then I just felt like I couldn't do anything at all. I was like, I'm not doing anything for at least a year because I was like, I've just got to get through life.
Yeah, you were demotivated. Your passion.
Not demotivated. I thought if I sing, I'm going to cry. That's one thing.
Right.
And I thought, how am I going to do that? But then, so what happened, Lance, was that my dad said, so I was engaged at the time, and my dad said, your mom, there's some money in your mom's bank that she's left behind. And he said, I want you to have it to get married, put towards your wedding. And it wasn't a lot. It was about $3,000. And $3,000 is an amount that like could get frittered away. You could spend that on a holiday. Oh, well, probably a couple of weekends. So after my mum passed away, my fiance's dad passed away about a month later. So we were in a bad spot.
Oh.
And then we ended up splitting up.
Oh.
So then it was quite it's life, isn't it? Yeah. So we'd split up, and then I sat there. So maybe a few months after we'd split up, and I just thought, what am I going to do with that much? Because my dad kept saying, I need to send you this money. I was like, I don't want it. And then I thought, I've got what I'm going to do with it, because I can't waste it. Right, it was my mum's, and my mum would give a last penny to anybody. And then I thought, I've got all these songs I've written. I've been writing songs for years, but they're just on pieces of paper, right? Reams of songs. And so I thought, right, I'm going to spend the money to get these songs recorded. So it didn't start off as anything else. I just thought, I don't want to spend my mum's money on something that my mum would want me to do. So I went and got, the sixth song. So all the songs up until now, the sixth one that's out this Saturday, that's all my mum's, my mum's money has paid for those 6 songs is the way that I see it. But
what's the name of the song that's out on Saturday, just so we can remember?
It's called Never Too Late.
Never Too Late, love that.
Yeah. It was actually played on BBC Introducing. Woohoo!
Nice.
Last Thursday.
Right. That's good. So
it was good, yeah. It was really good. So yes, I wanted to spend the money on something. So I thought my mum would definitely want me to do this. She was super creative and played the guitar. She did singing, and she wrote poetry, and And I thought it's what she would have wanted me to do with my life, really.
Yeah.
So that's what I decided to do.
So, okay, so you used the money, your relationship ended, sadly, know the feeling. But you, I suppose, mentally, you were able to channel your positivity into recording those songs, some of which are the ones that are available on the links we've sent out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it says that your single Never Too Late. Wow, this is an AI response, by the way. It's going to be released around Valentine's Day.
It is on Valentine's Day because the song is that it's never too late. You know, the person, maybe the one that got away, and that actually you might have fallen out because you've just kind of maybe haven't been putting in effort, and it's just got a grind, and then people sort of, and it's about, you know, actually getting back together. So it's quite a romantic song, but it's fairly upbeat.
Are we able to hear a bit of it? Have you got a link where I can play a bit, maybe?
Oh,
I mean,
I have got a link. I've got a private link to it. Private link. Hang on a second. I've got a private link that if I send you, you can play.
Or send me the link via Facebook.
I'll send it. Yeah.
I think what's really interesting, Grace, about having you on as a guest, and I can tell we're not going to have enough time tonight to talk about all the things I want to talk about, so you're definitely going to have to come back, is I've interviewed a lot of people in the music industry scene before on all sides, but an independent creative singer-songwriter who's also come to it relatively late in terms of a professional career.
Yeah.
Quite a unique path that you've trodden, and you're producing the tracks and putting them out on your own. A lot of my rave DJ friends do that as well, of course. But somebody in the country and western scene, which is something I want to get onto in a minute, that's all completely new for me, and I haven't interviewed a guest that's taken that journey. And of course, that, you know, you've got festivals in Nashville, you've got the whole American market you can try and crack into, which, as we know, is massive. There's quite a it's not as big as some of the other music scenes in the UK, but there is quite a dedicated UK country and western scene, as I'm sure you probably know. In fact, when we were trying to get the cowboy hats for the Magnificent Seven play, it was the dedicated country and western clothing stores in the UK. There's a really big one near Aldershot, that sort of had all the best gear, you know, and of course all their customers are people that do line dancing or go to country and western club nights. So there is a dedicated country and western scene. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think when I was researching, I think I read you have gone to America and performed. Is that correct?
Yeah, but not as a show. So I went a few years ago. I went to I've been a few times on my own. I used to do quite a lot of lone traveling. I mean, I still do. And yeah, so I sang in Nashville, but really because I was cheeky. I was cheeky though. I just was in a bar, and the lead singer, I'm friends with her on Instagram actually. I don't know, I think we just like took a liking to each other, even though she was on the stage and I was just sitting at the bar. And when she came round, I said, I'm a singer, can I get up? And she was like, well, we don't allow people to. But then she was like, yeah, come on. So she obviously had some trust that it wasn't going to be terrible. So I did a couple, and then I did a bit of, they asked me to do Amy Winehouse because obviously from the UK.
Yeah, you've got a bit of an Amy Winehouse look. You've got the long dark hair and a little bit. I mean, if you put on her makeup, you
and a beehive. I could probably pull it off. Yeah.
Yeah. My friend Jojo does an Amy Winehouse cover act, and she's pretty good at nailing her. Actually, I'll give her a due. She's pretty good.
Oh wow.
So okay, she did an Amy Winehouse song and a couple of other. How did it go down with the public in that? What was that? Was that like a country and western Nashville bar? Because there's that one street with a whole load of them on, isn't there?
Yeah, it was on there. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And packed out in there, was it?
Yeah.
Good crowd.
Yeah. It's actually brilliant. Nashville is my favorite place in the world. Yeah.
I mean, what are the opportunities like for someone like yourself because you're still relatively new in terms of the journey. And the good thing about country and western is it's not the boy band market.
No.
It's not the girl band market. It's not like your career is over by the time you're 26. Country and western has a fan base that's a much wider age demographic. So there's got to be more opportunities for you. There's got to be competitions. There's got to be, I don't know, the equivalent of a country and western pop idol. There are quite a few country and western singers went by that route, didn't they? American Idol or things like that. Have you ever tried any of those, or talk us through some of the things that you've...
I think I went to The Voice years and years ago, maybe when I was about 30. I think I didn't even get past the second round. It was my fault though, because you know, when I'm quite a jokey person, right? And to be honest, I kind of wanted. I said to them, they said, "Why?" It was like a bit of an interview stage, and they said, "Why are you on the show?" And I just said, "I only want to get on the TV stage, and then you can kick me off." And I made it like a joke, and she just went, "That's not really what we're looking for." And I was like, oops. But to be honest, it was true, because I don't really like those shows. Like, the thing is, if you say to most musicians, "Oh, I'm going to go on that," they're like, why?
Yeah.
Like, why would you do that? Because you're kind of selling your soul, right?
Yeah, no, I get that. And I mean, it but I suppose I'm just thinking, what are the other doors that you can knock on? What are the other opportunities that you can get to perform so people can see you? Maybe important people that might be able to give you that break, you know, in terms of maybe more the Nashville scene, that they must do kind of open mic night equivalent. This is all new to me. You know, the country and western world, I wouldn't know. Are there like open mic night?
You know what's tough is
that kind of thing.
I mean, that there may be. So what I have got going on is that, like, you know, I've got a country band that is almost together. I need a violinist, fiddle player, and so we're going to go out and do gigs, and then I'm going to throw some of my own songs into the mix, right? Until I've got enough people that I can go out and just sell tickets for a show, which is the long term. But I've never wanted to be like, I'm not trying to be famous. What I'm trying to do, I just want to do the music, the thing that I love, and the thing that makes other people happy.
Right.
So I don't suppose I'll look at things in that necessarily through that lens. I think I probably need to do as much networking as I possibly can and get involved in the scene a bit more. But at the moment, I've been just writing songs, getting them recorded. So I'm in the studio again this Saturday. I was in there 2 weeks ago. I was in there 2 weeks before that. So it's quite a lot already on top of your role. And then when you're talking about marketing and advertising, it is a business, and it's very recent that I've really started looking into everything that you need to do, from, you know, videos to meta ads to playlisting, and then you've got Submit Hut, you've got Groover, you've got all of these different things you can use, and I've got metricals sending my posts out, but then I'm like, I've got to make my post. Then I've tried to find something that can help me make my post, because I haven't got time to.
It's exhausting.
There's always a million things to do, and then I'll go hard, and then I'll just have a few days where I'm like, I'm totally exhausted, I can't do anything, no one speak to me.
there's so many platforms as well. There's different things to subscribe to, and you know, you've got to have a YouTube channel, you've got to have a TikTok, you've got to have an Instagram account, you've got to have this, you've got to have that, and then you've got to maintain and run all of those. And if you haven't got a big sideline that's making you a ton of money on the side, you haven't got the funds to employ a PA, like a social media manager, to do all of that for you. So my next question would be, how do you balance the commitment to your passion with your other sort of monthly needs to survive, you know, to pay the bills, to put the lights on, to afford that Sainsbury's food shop, preferably with the good bottle of wine rather than the shit one on the bottom of the shelf? You know, how do how do you juggle all that? Have you what's the day job? Have you got a day job that's keeping you going?
I do. So I am a fintech sales manager. So financial technology. So it's payments. So I run a sales team.
Okay. Well, that's good because that keeps the and okay. So how do you balance the hours with that? With
very badly. It's very.
So basically, don't listen to you in terms of solving.
Don't listen to me. No.
Right,
So I'll tell you what I do. This is what I do. Honestly, I hope my boss isn't watching this. Don't sack me. No. What I do is I work really hard, and I'm at work for probably 10 or 11 hours a day.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot I can do about that because that's the way of the role is. And then what I do is I then start working or singing or as in doing some marketing, built my own website. So just everything, all that there is to do. So I do all of this and I end up sitting up doing that until probably 2 to 3 in the morning most nights.
Yeah.
That's the truth of it. Is I was disgusted. I looked on my health app earlier on my phone and I get an average of, it's a maximum of like 5 hours sleep a night. Now, this isn't good for anyone, right?
No, that's 1 4-hour cycle and then an hour of, tossing.
But like, I'm exhausted.
I know. Yeah.
So I'm exhausted. But the thing is, you kind of got to do it because I can't stop doing the music stuff. And I have to have my job to pay my bills. So what are you going to do? So
yeah, I get it completely. Believe me.
This is why I don't have a partner, right? I haven't got a man in my life because I think, well, how? Because I'm not going to have time unless they are a music producer or a guitarist. They're welcome. Because if you get a guy, they're going to be like, you can't do that all night. You can't do that all night because they want to spend time with you, understandably. And I just can't. Like, I need to do the music.
You probably need to date a creative of some sort so they understand that world. It's why a lot of actors date a lot of other actors because they understand that world. I mean, not always, and it's not always a good idea, but I get why that. Shall we have before I move on, shall we have a quick listen to your tune that's coming up?
Yeah, man.
So, right. So don't flag me for copyright when this appears.
Oh, no, of course not.
Yeah. But I won't play the whole thing. What should we do? Play like a minute of it, shall we?
Yeah. I mean, even the start's great, actually. I love the intro on it.
All right, here we go. So this is Never Too Late by my lovely guest, Grace Palmer. Have a listen, everyone.
Still remember how we used to be. You made me laugh to calm the storm in me. I see but I still can't sleep at night. If you miss me like I miss you, now's the time to make it right. It's never too late to turn this love around. It's never too far. You found, no matter the distance, no matter how long, it's never too late. This is where you belong. We turned our backs in anger.
Sorry, I should pause it. I was so into it.
Oh, thanks.
It's so good. This is so. I mean, that's like. I've listened to your other tracks as well. That's next level good over some of your previous work. And
I agree 100%.
This is another level, definitely.
Yeah.
Wow. I would like to hear what people think of that in the chat. That's going to be out on SoundCloud and things on Valentine's Day, various other places.
It's on Spotify and Apple, all the streaming sites really.
Keith,
Bandcamp, if anybody loves Bandcamp.
Keith, who is from Tennessee, who's in the chat, one of my moderators, regular moderator on the channel, is giving that an A+. So
Yay!
highly approved.
Thanks, Keith.
I have just sent. So you mentioned earlier that you needed a violinist.
Yes, yes.
And I think when we prepped this interview, I think I said to you that the first band I was ever into was the Electric Light Orchestra. I think I
love ELO.
Right. Well, Mick Kaminsky, who's the violinist for ELO, is a friend of mine. And I have just dropped him a message and I said, you've got to listen to this. And I've just dropped him your track. I'm also, see, this is what we do for people on the Outcast Creative. We are
That's so kind, Lance. Thank you.
And hang on a minute. I'm live with her now. She's so a massive ELO fan. So yeah, I've been to see ELO live more than any other band, and I've also seen them in all their various incarnations. And Mick is very shy. I've asked him to come on for an interview before, and he's politely declined because he is very shy. He finds it awkward talking to people, full stop, let alone on camera live. But Pantheon Huxley, known as Hux, who was part of ELO Part 2, he came on and did an interview with me about 1 year and 2 months ago, and it's still on the channel. Absolutely fantastic interview. And the reason I've been in touch with Mick recently is because, very sadly, Hux passed away in the last week of January, which is really sad. 71, but a short illness, and then he was gone. And Mick said he can't play with ELO anymore because it's too sad for him because of Hux passing, because they were such good friends. And as soon as you said, my country band needs a violinist, it pops in my head straight away. I wonder if Mick would do a couple of gigs with you. And you're both from Birmingham, and you're an up-and-coming artist. And I think when people are older, because this is one of the things that this channel is all about, when people are older, they like looking at really talented, passionate people like themselves that have been on the same, they've trodden the same road, they've been up the same path. And people will tend to put a hand down, and if they're good-spirited people, and they might do a favour for people. You never know. Can't hurt to ask. Certainly, I've made him aware of your presence literally in the last 5 minutes. He's now got.
He probably only lives up the road from me.
He may well do, but I mean, all of the ELO guys, I've met all of them except for Jeff Lynne, are all really lovely, and yeah, Mick is a particularly lovely, caring individual, and oh my God, what a talented violinist. And I remember when I told him I picked the violin to learn when my dad was not very well, but I wanted to play it to him, and he went, "You didn't pick a very easy instrument." And I was like, no, I was rubbish at it. I was absolutely appalling at it. That song of yours that we just played, I mean, God, that's good. And your voice, I mean, just on the first line, that's Never Too Late by Grace Palmer. I mean, God, if I had a movie, if I was doing like a romantic comedy, let's say, and it was the scene at the end of the movie where the guy turns up at the girl's work with the flowers, the kind of, it's like the Richard Gere scene in Pretty Woman, coming down the road in the car. That'd be a great song for a movie like that.
Yeah.
For that scene, that would be a great track. Really would. Yeah, a lot of great musicians come from Birmingham. Also, Ozzy Osbourne, who sadly we lost last year. Yeah, David Macy, your song has a unique sound to it. First class. I have to agree, sir. Absolutely. Grumpy Grognard Gaming says you've got a lovely voice. There you go.
Thank
So,
you.
it's Lance making magic happen daily. I do like connecting people. That's what my
You
channel
are,
is.
Lance. That was excellent. What a lovely
Okay,
surprise.
so you've got that track coming out.
Yeah.
And I actually, because another thing I read in my research is, you know, you produced your first album as you hit a certain age. I mean, producing an album, yeah, no, I didn't say.
A certain age of 94, darling. Yeah.
No, you know, when you hit 21, it's a big number, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
So, indeed. But you produced an album and it's like, could you have written that same album with the emotional gut that it has without that life experience behind you?
So I don't want to know, and never too late. I wrote those when I was 30, and they've been sat on some paper somewhere for like 10 years.
Just the lyrics or the music as well?
So never too late. I really loved it when I wrote it, like when I was 30. I might have been 29, 30. I loved it, but I've always felt like there's something a bit missing, and I got it out recently and then started tweaking around it, and then I was like, the magic happened. The magic happened a lot. I've got about 20 songs ready to record, right? It's literally like I'm getting through them. Because I had like a spurt over a couple of months where I just went like wild on songwriting, and what came out the other end was the great tracks. That was the first one of the lot. And then I'm there again this Saturday, and I'm midway through another one. And the answer is probably not, to your question. So By His Side, I've written about my mom passing away. That is about my mom.
Yeah.
And then the others, a couple I wrote when I was 30, but like I say, but now it's like I'm quite I don't think anyone likes putting themselves really out there, because when you put song, it's your insides in everybody's ears, and you feel like this isn't just, oh, what do I think that people will like? That's not my vibe, right? I'm writing things from my own life experience. So I will have songs coming out that will make my ex-boyfriends cry because I've had some quite bad situations. You know, I've had some quite bad situations, especially when I was younger. And now at this age, I've got the power to sort of go back in time, not be upset about it anymore at all, but go back in time, feel the same emotions that I did at that point, like maybe 15, 20 years ago, and sit and write about it. And that, so it does, I do wonder how very young people write songs when they haven't got a lot of experience. But I suppose, yeah, so it definitely gives you a different angle on things. And also, I think I've only just got to the point at this point when I'm like, you know, I'm over 40. I've only just got to the point where I actually have stopped caring what people think. That is very sad. And I'm only just getting there, really.
I mean, you know, it's sad and it's not. I think as a creative, if you listen, no one could come on, watch this stream and say that woman can't sing. That, because that would be, first of all, that statement would be both untrue and complete bollocks. You're clearly very talented. Just playing half of that song is you know, is emotionally, it's devastating. I had to turn off my tap, if you know what I mean. I had to sort of, I'm going to have to compose myself here. This song is, man, this has really grabbed me. So, and having that kind of impact, that's a very unique gift. And that's why as creatives, we do what we do, isn't it? It's the ability to pour the emotion and the experience of our lives and individual things and unique memories into a piece, and that piece might be a song or a play or a book or a film, and then impart that to somebody else and then see their reaction to it, or feel their reaction, or read their reaction. And it's the reactions and the emotion of their reaction is, for me, is what validates the work in a way, is what makes it worth it. You know,
Yeah.
I do a play, we perform the play as a comedy. I want to hear the audience laughing, you know, and that's the kick. Same in the cinema. When I've had a film premiere, I always like to sit at the back. The one we had a couple of weeks ago, that's the first time I've ever sat at the front. It was only because it came on sooner than I was expecting, and I didn't have time to run up the stairs and get to the back of the screen, because I like to watch the reaction of all the audience.
Yeah.
Because that's really important to me. So, you know, it's the best place to sit, where you can see where all the different beats are hitting people. So
you know, on that, right? This is interesting. I'd like to know this. So
yeah,
when I used to do my theatre show, obviously these weren't my own songs. These are like I was singing, you know.
So you're talking about the cabaret show that you did before?
No, the Linda Ronstadt, the California one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we do that.
Monkeys.
We do it in a theatre. There might be 200 to 500 people out.
Sure.
And then towards the end of the night, obviously it gets more and more upbeat. And then we're getting people up and then everyone's dancing. Now, I used to feel euphoric, like as in you could just, you know, you could be on Class A drugs because you feel like
well,
it's amazing.
It's naturally
Are you
released
like
hormones.
that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a natural buzz, isn't it? It's a natural high that you get from performing to people. I get that sometimes when because I dance on the stage or on the podium in a club quite a lot.
Oh, of course you do. Yeah.
And when I do that, I'm nearly always sober, because otherwise I'm going to fall off. So, especially, you know, in my 50s.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, and I get a natural buzz from just doing it, as long as, like, because I like being up there, because also when I'm up there I feel safe, which is connected to something else. So but yeah, I get it completely. We wanted to talk about the topic of AI, which is really, I mean, it's really hitting the forums at the minute, especially on YouTube and Twitter and all those kinds of things, because people are creating stuff on it, whether it's a song. You know, I never thought I'd be able to write the lyrics for a song for my YouTube channel and hear it 30 minutes later. Not even that now. And with all the music and everything, it's kind of bonkers. So that's been much discussed at the minute. We've got lots of Star Wars fan films being made, and a lot of people are saying, "Oh, this is, you know, this stuff is better than the last 3 films we've had from Disney." That may or may not be true, depending on your point of view. And it's in its infancy still. We're seeing the tip of the iceberg of what it's going to be able to achieve. In 5 years, you'll be able to create literally anything on a decent computer at home, I would suggest. So is this making it more challenging for you, easier for you? Talk us through, what are the pluses, what are the minuses? And people in the chat want to know this as well. Yeah. Do you use AI as a tool in the developmental process? Because it is a tool, of course.
So first of all, a couple of pointers on the AI debate is that it's incredibly helpful. And I think if it's used in the right way, and I don't think anyone can really tell people what they should or shouldn't use it for, or how much of the creative process is okay, because everyone's different. And to be also with films or books or stories or music, there's only 7 notes, right? So even when you have artists that have like copied another artist, music is a merry-go-round. So it depends what people are comfortable with. So I wouldn't be comfortable getting lyrics from an AI and using lyrics from an AI, because my lyrics are from my life, and that I'm putting something across that's human. The music as well, I like to get my own, you know, I want to make my own melodies. However, what I have used it for is, we were in the studio about a month ago and we'd basically nailed this song, right? I've still got to do some vocals on it. But then we hadn't got, going back to strings again, I wanted strings on the bridge. And my producer, right, he plays 40 instruments, and he'd done the keys, and I'd said, oh, I want, like, you know, we'd worked out what we were doing with the keys, and he'd recorded the keys in, And so I asked him to just send me the keys, just the snip of the keys. He sent me that. I sent it into the AI platform and I said, can you make the same notes in strings? Now, I had to then do that about probably 50 or 60 times, right? Because you don't get the output that you want. But then when we did get the output, we were like, oh, this is amazing, because you would have had to have a quartet there to get this. And it is going on, right? So have I used an AI tool? Yeah. Would I be comfortable with making a song with it? No is the answer. Because not that I'm against people that do it, but because I think for me, it would just be pointless. Like the whole point of me doing it is that I want to be creative and I want to add bits to the song. I want to add the lyric to go like that or change something. And I like to sit and play around with different vocals and how things sound. So it would ruin the process for me. I also think that moving forward, there's so many songs now being uploaded that are AI. You can tell the vocals though.
Yeah, I think. I mean, it's certainly there's a certain sound to them, Yeah.
And I think moving forward, I think we've been living in a world for a long time now that's very social media, internet based and all of this. And I think that'll stay in a way, but I think people will veer towards humanness because maybe they come and see shows more because all they're filled with is fake or, online. So maybe it actually draws people back together again. And that's what I'm hoping for, really, is that the human element of being in person becomes even more important, because you can't get that same feeling, can you, from watching something on telly? No,
I agree. I mean, I find it's a very interesting debate because there's I spent much of my life as a frustrated filmmaker, banging on doors, trying to get money for scripts that I know are fantastic, that I know people would like to watch.
Yeah.
And I've had the financing fall apart on no less than 5 different films, I think. And then you look back at your life and you realise, my God, of the last 20 years, I might have spent 3 years of that doing creative things and 17 years of it trying to do creative things.
Yeah.
Which is a mad ratio. And I remember speaking to Ron Underwood, who directed the film Tremors with Kevin Bacon. I don't know if you remember the movie.
I do. Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah,
it is a good one. It's a great rewatch film. You can watch that movie with anyone and have a good time. Well, the director of that, Ron Underwood's been on this channel. He's done an interview like one of these, and the producer Gail Ann Hurd was also on that interview. She popped in, and it's a very accessible film, great film. But Ron, who's a successful director, he directed City Slickers with Billy Crystal, if you remember that one, where they all go off on the cowboy ranch and pretend to be cowboys for a week and stuff. He said to me, you have no idea. You look at my IMDb and you look at my CV and I look like a very successful director. He says, you have no idea how many films I've worked on for a year or 2 years, and in some cases 3 years, that then fell apart at the last minute and didn't happen. And then sometimes I just had to take another job, whatever it was, because suddenly I wasn't going to get paid for that one, or I only got paid for the development phase, and I've just done 3 years of my life, and now that movie isn't happening. So I've just lost out on, $2 or $3 million or whatever. And he said that happened over and over and over again. And he said it's happened to every director I know, no matter how big they are on the list, So, and then you have the independent creators like us struggling. So bringing this, circling this back round to AI, if I can use AI to somehow help me open those doors a bit easier, or create some of the things I want to create, as long as I can do it to a standard that I'm happy with, and I'm going to use it as a tool, because I'm never going to replace. I love working with actors. So I'm never going to look to it to replace my actors. But I might make an animated feature film with AI and get my actors to do the voices. That could be interesting,
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of the criticism you see from people about AI, that's okay if you're Say when someone's got 11 songwriters writing their song for, because you know, famous people have a songwriting camp where all the songwriters go, they pay them thousands and thousands of pounds. They all sit there and then they pick their favourite songs out. And then they've got producers that cost 20, 30 grand to do a song. Like, I haven't got that money. And it's the same when it comes to your marketing or anything else that you do. It all comes down to money. And so if you haven't got that stuff, if you can help yourself by, it's like me saying, I haven't got a string quartet. I really want one on this song. And I really want it to play these notes in this order. And yeah, and then it can do it for you. Why wouldn't you use it? But I think there's a big difference between using it creatively and just throwing things. So there's some that they're calling it slop, I think.
Yeah.
AI slop.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where you just put Write Me a Heartbreak song and it just those and they just put that up. The problem is you're going to get some overloaded, aren't you, on all the sites with stuff that's not real, and then you've got to find out the actual good music because there's that much of it around.
I mean, on that topic, what things are you doing? And I guess this podcast would be one of them to, help people find you, stand out among the deluge. It's the same for me. I publish a book on Amazon as a writer because that's the easiest way for me to do it. I actually make more money. But there's a deluge of other people also publishing a book in the same week that I'm going to publish my next book. So how do I get readers to read my book? How do you get people to notice and download your songs? What things are you doing?
I've only just really started, but I have got a degree in marketing and I'm very hot on AI and general marketing, to be honest. It's like a little side hobby. So
that's obviously a benefit to you.
Yeah, because I do like it. I like doing it. So what I've got is I've set up smart links to everything. So every song's got a smart link page. So you would click through to the page, it's got everything on there, a bit like the one that I sent earlier with my main bio on. And then really with music, you can go about it from playlisting, which is really you pitching playlists. So pitching people who own a Spotify playlist that gets X amount of listeners a day. And you can pitch them for your song to go on their list, which costs you money. And you could spend however much on trying to pitch playlists to get streams, basically. So you pitch them. They either say, I don't like your song, and they send you a reject note, which is fab. I've had loads. Or you get one saying, oh, we love this. We're putting it on our playlist. And then you'll start to get streams off it. And you hope that someone is going to listen to it on a playlist and then go, this is great. I'm going to save it to my selection. Realistically, in a playlist, right, they're just listening to it while they're doing the cleaning or driving. It's unlikely that's going to happen. But it's still like a bit of a boost to get in front of more people. So on Saturday, I've got a Spotify marketing campaign. So it's their own one, Spotify, to go out like UK, Brazil. I've got a lot of listeners in Brazil, and country music actually quite big there.
Okay.
So I thought
you're big in Brazil as opposed to big
in Brazil, yeah. And then I'm also going to run meta ads, so across Facebook and Instagram, because it's so crazy. So this is how the Spotify algorithm works. Obviously, Spotify doesn't listen to your song, so I could put a slop song on there. Or I could put a really great song on there. Spotify does not know the difference. All Spotify's doing, the algorithm is tracking how many people play it is one metric. How many people save it? How many people play it on repeat? So if they played it twice or 3 times or 10 times. So if everyone plays it once and no one saves it, that's not getting pushed anywhere.
Right.
If people listen to it 4 times on average per person and you get lots of saves, then they're like, this is a popular song, we'll push it out. And they start pushing it out onto the editor. So the Spotify algorithmic lists, like, what are they called? So the radio is one of them. So like Spotify radio, everyone's got their own radio on there. Like mine will play the songs that I listen to mainly. And then it adds a few others in that you might like. So the better you do, the more you get songs get pushed onto radio and other playlists like that. And then if it's all going well, it should be a self-fulfilling circle. But in all honesty, it's quite tricky. And then you've got the meta ads works quite well, because meta ads, you're actually targeting people. And because they've got to click a link and then they've got to go through to your song to play it. That's a couple of steps. So you're not going to get people there who aren't going to play it. You might only get 50 or 60 a day, depending on what you spend. But they are likely to have clicked on it because they actually like you and they like the bit of snip of music. So they're likely to become like a fan in effect. So they're likely to listen to your other songs.
Right.
So
Okay, yeah, got you.
So I think the way to go with music is mainly the meta advertising, but also playlisting helps to give you a bit of a boost. So I'll kind of do a bit of both. But again, I've only really started that. I'm gonna like this year. I haven't ever. So when I was doing my songs before, and people would say, "Well, you know what you tried to do them for?" I'd say, "I'm just doing them for myself. I'm not bothered if anyone listens to them." And it was partially true. And then I thought, I think I might be lying to myself because I'm scared to put myself out there and actually say that I want to do it, because people will go, well, you're too old and you're this and all of this. So then I thought, I can't do this. I'm going to have to go for it. So this is the year I'm going for it.
I think with the genre of music you're targeting, or that you also like, I don't think your age is an issue. I think you could also be a rave DJ, and I don't think your age would be an issue, because there's plenty of people doing that you're kind of in your age range. By the way, Mick Kaminsky replied to me, and he said he's going to watch the stream later. He's out at the moment.
Ah, thanks, Mick.
Mick, when you're watching this later, hi, mate. We love you, and big hugs. I know, because it's a bit of a tough time for everyone in the band at the minute with the loss of Hux, but my heart goes out to you, mate. Big hug from everyone in the UK. I've got a couple of questions for you here. Yeah. Wormy Spoons wants to know, are you a fan of Paolo Nutini? Am I saying that right?
I like Paolo. Yeah, I haven't heard him for a while though.
I'm not familiar. Please enlighten me.
I've got my new shoes on. That's all I can think of.
Right.
Hang on.
Have you got him on your playlist?
He's not on my playlist. No, he's not a permanent fixture on there anyway.
Oh, okay. All right. Sorry, Paolo. But
do you know when I'll find a Paolo song? Yeah. Do you know when we were just talking about the age thing? I don't think it's age. I think what it is that you can make an excuse out of anything. So you can say, I haven't got the time. I'm too old. Yeah. I'm too this. I'm too young. I haven't got enough experience. Oh, I've done too much. It's basically a way to hide and not just face up to it, which is what I've really done. So actually now, that's why I thought I've got to go for it. Can you hear anything?
I can't. Is it muted? Because I'm.
Good point, yeah.
Slow down.
Okay. Do you recognise that song?
I do. I recognise both the song and the voice, actually. Yeah.
That's Paolo.
Okay. Let's not play too much more, otherwise I might get a copyright.
Oh no, yeah, let's not do that.
No, indeed. But yeah, and David Macy wants to know, if you could tour as a support for anyone, who would you choose? That's an interesting.
Wow, Dolly Parton.
Yeah, I mean that would be great, wouldn't it? Have you ever been to Dolly World, her theme park?
I haven't been to Dolly World. I've been to Nashville twice, but Dolly World isn't sort of in Nashville. I can't remember how far it is away, actually.
No, it is. I have looked it up. It is a bit in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it is.
For a person from the UK, anyway.
And because I went on my own, right? It's like you probably don't want to be venturing out like kind of that much. But I definitely would like to go, because I'm sure it's incredible. And I love the fact that she's just gone 80 and she's like, I just feel like I'm just starting my life now. I've got so much to do.
I love that.
Like she's just class. She's a class woman.
I really loved her in The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. And I don't know if you've seen the movie. Have you watched it?
No.
It's based on a famous play from Broadway. And, you know, her and Burt Reynolds, the late actor Burt Reynolds, who you might remember from the Cannonball Run movies and things like that, he does a duet with her. And I mean, he's not a singer, but it kind of works, you know, because she makes it work with him, and they have really good chemistry in the movie together. And, you know, you feel like they got on pretty well. But she's always come across as such a lovely woman. She's got such a nice energy. So, yeah, Dolly Parton, okay. Anyone else?
Ooh, let me have a little think.
David Macy says he could see you supporting postmodern.
I used to do a bit of postmodern jukebox. Yeah, so PMJ kind of do covers of modern tracks in like a 1940s, 50s style. I do really like them, yeah.
Keith says, I live 20 miles from Pigeon Forge. Is Pigeon Forge where Dollyland is?
I don't know.
Or is that a theme park that's pigeon based?
I have no idea.
Probably not. Probably not. So what? Okay, so in terms of, you've produced one album. Is the track that you've Never Too Late, is that for the next album?
I've probably got, like I said, I've got about 20 songs lined up and ready to go. It's literally, this is the, you know, it's time and money, isn't it? So I can't go to the studio physically more than every other week because I've got a full-time job. So it's a lot. So I do that, and it's like 7 a.m. till 7 p.m. You know, so I'm doing that. So I should be putting out one song a month. So I've got another 2 that are almost finished, like just to put out after this one. So I'm kind of just trying to keep it up because I've got all of these songs, but I just need to get them into like production, but it's gonna take some time. So,
well, what would you do if an A&R man or woman, you know, heard your song somewhere? They said, okay, we want to sign you for a year. We're going to do X, Y, Z, but you're going to need to do this full time for a year. Would you take that as a shot? Would you give up?
100%. I'd quit. Yeah, 100%.
So for anyone watching now,
anyone watching now,
or later,
100%. I'd just be like, goodbye. I think life is too short. Life is too short. So if there was anything, to be honest, there that I just thought this is a good opportunity, I'd do it, because I can always go back to a job. You can always go back to the corporate world, but once it's gone with everything else.
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely would.
I think I often, you know, there's been some people have won crazy amounts of money on the Euro Millions. Like, I don't know, some people, one person won, I think it was nearly 200 million one time. And I remember thinking when that happened, you know, I could get all the things I want to do and make 4 or 5 of my movies with X, and then Y, I would set up some kind of artist support fund, and I would sort of go around. I'd look on Kickstarter and places like that, and look for passionate people that are doing passionate projects. And there must be people out there, philanthropists, that are looking for people like you to support. There must be. I'm just thinking, you know, this channel is kind of my way, for me, it's my way of contributing towards the struggle of the passionate, independent creative. You are 2000% exactly the kind of people that we like to get on this channel, who have buckets of talent, and are doing what they love and are working their arse off to do what they love, but they could do with a bit more support, whether it's people buying their records, downloading their songs, coming to their concerts, but it might be someone who's got the means to do even more. Oh, fortunately, this is David Macy's plan. If he wins the lottery, that is exactly what he's going to do. So you can fund my film, and you can fund Grace's music career. That'd be excellent. Dolly is indeed a female equivalent of Elvis. I would argue that's true. She is. she's probably as big as he ever was, I would think, because she's yeah. You know, there's not many people on the planet that haven't heard of Dolly Parton. Is there any thing else you would like to, before we wrap up? We've gone over a little bit, but I mean, it's such an interesting conversation, and I feel we could easily go for another hour, but I don't want to take up too much of your time. Is there anything else we haven't touched on tonight that you feel you'd like to mention at all? Or I think we should give your producer friend a shout out, the one who does 40 instruments, because it sounds like he's doing a lot to help you out.
Oh, he's amazing, Scott is, yeah.
So shout out to Scott. Thank you for assisting.
Scott Ralph, he's fantastic, and he's very much fun as well. We get on super well. The thing is, you put your vibe with someone, because otherwise it's weird.
Creative relationships are very, very important. It's the same working with people on a show or a movie set, you know, especially when you're going to be doing any kind of intense shared creative process. I imagine in a music studio, you know, that's quite an interesting dynamic. I've never been a singer-songwriter, you know, I haven't experienced it, but I can imagine.
You're just there all day, but you know, when you hit something that you like, that's wicked, and we're both like really excited. So it's super fun. So you need that.
When that happens, when you hit that seam of gold, what's the next immediate thing that you do? Do you quickly record that track, or what do you do? Do you bounce it around and kind of develop it, make it explode a bit, or?
I think it's more that what we'll do is we'll sit there, we'll talk about what we're going to do, and I'll say, so I'll always take it in and go, this is how I want it, and this is the plan, and this is the structure and stuff. And then he might go, oh, you know, you might want to move that there, or he might totally ignore something that I say. He does that sometimes. Right. Scott, if he's watching this, he'll go, and I think he's not going to do that. And then he's just like, he'll swerve it, because maybe it's a crap idea, right? And he thinks that's not right. But instead of God confronting it, it's just sort of like, shuffle it to one side. Well, what tends to happen is we mess around with stuff. He might say, well, let's put some piano out, and I'll go, not really feeling that, to be honest. And he's like, okay, we'll take that off. And then I'm like, don't really like that bit. Or we just keep going at that, and then something will happen, something goes, and I go, oh, that's it. Like, that's exactly what I'm looking for at that moment. And it's just that, but it's not so much about perfecting things after, it's more about the trial and error process, I suppose. And it's super fun, because like putting some bongos on, it's like a free day of watching, like, or playing as well, getting involved in like loads of instruments, putting things on. So
I mean, I do like the fact that with your music, and as you said, you're putting together a little band effectively at the moment. I like the fact that you like using other instruments. I mean, the violin in Never Too Late, it's very powerful. Violin is a very emotive, powerful instrument.
Yeah,
really hits you in the feels when it's, you know, used to the best of its abilities. And as I said, very difficult instrument to master for all those people watching at home. So I like that about your music, and you've used different instruments at different times in different pieces, which is really interesting. I've had a couple of people text me, this has never happened before.
Wow.
This has never happened before on the channel, actually. I've had Jason Flemyng, my brother's called me when I've been doing a live stream and done a little voice thing on, but I've never had friends of mine, like non-creative, people that aren't in the creative industry, let's say, they're not actors or whatever, text me on my phone and drop me a message. I've got two of them here. Oh my God, OMG, that woman's voice is amazing. And then my friend Kit also said, God, what a voice. I can't comment on YouTube because they don't have a YouTube account, I assume, which is why they can't comment in the chat. So there's a couple of people watching that are not on YouTube.
Thanks, guys.
Just sent me text to compliment you on your voice. Well, Grace, thanks so much for coming on. This has been brilliant. If you've ever got a live performance where people can come and watch, please let me know. Not only will I personally try and attend, but I'll certainly, even if I can't, I'll plug the absolute F out of it all over my social media.
Thanks so much, Lance. You're such a gem. Like, there's, this is what the world needs.
Well,
and hopefully I'll be able to do this for other people because
as my chat will tell you, you're now a de facto member of the Outcast Creative. So what that means is that you can call upon the channel anytime for our assistance. And if you've got a particular thing, so the next album or whatever in a year, hopefully not that long, we'll get you back on again. You can come back on with Scott if he's not camera shy.
Yeah.
Talking to a music producer would be very interesting.
He's the singer out of. Have you heard of the Climax Blues Band?
I have not, I'll be honest. But,
I think they're quite well known in America, but he's the lead singer for that as well.
Wow. Okay, the Climax Blues Band. Well, if he wants to come on, Scott, you're very welcome, mate. Please do come on. This is the purpose of the channel. We're here to support creatives, not just in the world of music, but board games, actors, people writing novels, whatever it may be. On the subject of books, of course, I haven't got that one there because I gave it to my friend on Sunday. My book, Back to Raving at 50, is now out on Amazon. This is book number 16 for me, so it's not my first book, but this is the biographical one. And it's about my journey back to the rave scene. So if you haven't got a copy of it yet, please do pick one up. There are two different covers.
Do you know when you do that? Do you know when you did the whole, let me do something. So when you're saying, this is the book, you need this playing that. Yeah. You're like, and welcome, this is my book.
There you go. Something like that.
Something like that. Sure.
You never know. You might write a book about your journey one day. If you do, you can certainly call on me and I can help you with that because that's one of the things I do. As David Macy says, the most supportive channel on the net. Please, the other thing you can do for us is spread the word about the channel. Please get people to like and subscribe. If you could give us a mention on your own social media, Grace, we'd very much appreciate it.
I shall, of course.
And don't be afraid to recommend it to other creatives as well. Now, we're going to be back tomorrow at 10 for the Nielsen ratings, of course, which is my weekly show. No, sorry, 9 p.m. It's the new time of 9 p.m. now. Every Tuesday, 9 p.m. for a couple of hours. Me and some other panelists, we talk about the TV shows and the films that we're watching. And we try and recommend you the good stuff. The stuff that we think is worth your time, because there's plenty of people out there talking about the stuff that's crap. And, we do mention that as well sometimes, but not for longer than 5 minutes, because we don't really want to spend that amount of time talking about stuff we don't want to watch. We'd rather talk about the stuff we do want to watch. Now, next week, an equally passionate creative who is also juggling a day job and their passion is DJ Carly Denham is coming in the house. She is on next Monday, I believe. I think it is. I need to check my diary, but I think it's next Monday at the same time, 8 o'clock. She's a DJ I know through the house scene. And funnily enough, I chatted her on the same day that I met you, Grace. So it was great. It was like two people I wanted to get on, got them both on. And absolutely lovely woman. Really looking forward to hearing her stories. Also a fellow animal lover like yourself. So we might get a guest. On that stream. Well, look, Grace, thanks so much for your time. This has been really great. And like I said, we could have easily... I think there's lots of other things we could talk about as well, particularly...
We could probably do a 24-hour one, to be honest. I'm
not sure I've got the energy for that now, but indeed we could. I'd love to have you back. I mean, also, if we ever do a stream about digital marketing and I've got a panel, if you're free, that would be great to have you on as one of the panelists.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Because I think that's an area where you could, add some really interesting insights. So talking of AI, my friend did use a little bit of AI to help create the music for this song, but the voice is actually hers. So this is Retro Nerds Girl song for the Outcast Creative channel that she created especially for us. Thanks everyone for the comments in the chat and for watching, liking and subscribing. Don't forget what I say every week. Always keep in touch with the people that you care about and tell them that you love them. And we shall see you all again real soon. Bye.
Bye.
hail and heard. He's creative, we're creative. How about you? Share your passion, join the crew. At Outcast Creative, we're breaking through. Hang with Lance and the Outcast crew. Hang with Lance and the Outcast crew. So come along, take a chance. Join the Outcast, hang with Lance. Bring your vision, your art, your flair. At Outcast Creative, there's always room to share. Hang with Lance and the Outcast crew.